Stitchin Scotty, and this is one of my Scotties Winston. This is a video about counter cross stitch, and I share all the things that I love about cross stitch, and one of those is attending retreats. Today is April the 7th, 2025. It's Monday. My video's a bit late, but I told you it might be late if you have watched my videos before. If you've not, I welcome you and I thank you for stopping by. I hope you see something you like and that you'll come back to visit with us again. Winston's not real big on making videos. Can you tell? What is it? You want a treat? You want a treat? Okay, just a minute. And this is my other Scotty. He would have come to the retreat with me, but you know, dogs are not allowed at retreats, and he's definitely not a service dog. You can tell he's all about where's my treat. So I'm going to give them a treat and we'll get started. We have a lot to share. I've got my book of days. I've got all about the retreat. I have works in progress. I have retreat fun, the goodie bag. I have a finish, an FFO. Got my whip go. I've got a wrap up about March. I'm forgetting what month it is. I've got a free pattern. And I also have Smalls Exchange pictures to show. I've got a featured Shopify shop today and some retreat news for about a retreat in the fall to watch out for. And I've got some photos to show. So there's a lot to do. I would like to thank Rebecca and Caroline from the Stitchin Kitten, the hosts of the retreat, Stitching at the Lake, for all the wonderful things that we got to do, the fun we had, and the food that was good, and just I got to meet some more of my viewers. I got to meet some new friends and make new friends, and I saw old friends and just got to see lots of beautiful stitching, and it was on the site of a beautiful, beautiful cove at Lake Murray in Columbia, South Carolina. It was great, great fun. Our stitching community is the greatest. We had the most fun. Everybody was so nice, and I really, really, really enjoyed that. So let's get started with some retreat fun. The first thing is we got a goodie bag. We got free patterns. Meals were provided. There were vendors, a freebie table, a Smalls Exchange. There was bingo, then there was floss bingo. Then there was guess how many ducks are in the jar game. And of course, I did not win that. But my friend Susie came in second. So hopefully, you know, the lady that won, though, she was really sweet. Then there was the get a duck when you have to unstitch or rip out, which we call frogging. We had finish recognition. There was a D-stash table where you could sell things. There was a brag table where you could show off things. So I'll share all that later. But first, let's talk about my fully finished object. I've already given it away, so I'm going to have to insert a picture in just a moment. This is a stitch from Friend Stitch, but it was designed by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It was called B-E-E, Thankful, and it's really cute, and I made a drum out of mine. They also had a, what am I trying to say? A picture where you could make a drum out of it, and I did. And let's see, where in the heck did I put it? Well, anyway, you'll get to see my drum. Okay, then I'm going to insert the Smalls Exchange pictures here. had a finish. It was St. Patrick's Day from Primrose Cottage Stitches. It was from the Free Pattern Friday. And how do you get the Free Pattern Friday? Once a month. You subscribe to their newsletter, and what I will do is I will link their website below so you can go and subscribe to their newsletter and have your chance to get a free pattern from Primrose Cottage Stitches every month. And their patterns are really, really pretty, as you can tell. They just send you, they only come PDF, and this one used 3 colors of Cottage Garden threads, I think. It was, no, wait a minute. Yeah, Cottage Garden threads. And this was what it looked like. Isn't that pretty? So, I was hoping I'd get mine done, but I did not. So, I did mine on 28 count instead of 36 count. And I did it just on an even weave, and it's probably Lugana. And that meant that it's going to be 6 5/8 by 2 7/8. And I used Weeks Dye Works, and the black I used DMC. And this is my finish. I really liked it. I used the same colors that I used on my St. Patrick's Day Quaker by them, so they would match. And I was going to turn the horseshoes up so the luck wouldn't run out, but they wouldn't fit too well, so I just went ahead for spacing, so I went ahead and just left it like she had it. But I thought that was just so cute. I just love St. Patrick's Day. It's so much fun. And this was a very fun pattern to stitch. I only had 3 colors. And it's 2 strands over 2. All right, so that'll be ready to make into a pillow. And I got the finishing kit from them, which you can buy from their website. Or not their website. Yeah, it is their website. It's Primrose Cottage Stitches Shop, I think. But I'll link it below. All right, so now let's talk about my works in progress. Okay. First of all, we're going to talk about Whip Go. All right, my Whip Go, this month, Jessie Marie does stuff. She is the facilitator of Whip Go. She chooses 2 numbers on the 25th, and we just have a bingo board, you know, that we make ourselves. It's not a real bingo board. And I made mine just on notebook paper. Yeah. So what I do is I put a project in every one of these blanks. And I was very kind of loose on how I wanted to give myself plenty of choices. So like this month, she chose number 4, and I put do a magazine chart. All right. And then she also chose number 10, and I put do something fall. It could be Mill Hill. It could be, you know, a fall pattern, anything. So what I chose to do for my fall piece, I had Autumn Splendor by Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. And I thought, this is so close to being done. I really need to get this done. And I got this at the retreat that I went to at Dying to Stitch, where I actually got to see Brenda Gervais. And it's been a couple of years ago, maybe even 3. But anyway, it's on 36 count Barb's Blend by R&R Reproductions. And I'm using 1 strand over 2 threads. And basically, I just have to finish the bird and do the pumpkins and the flowers and the rest of the border, and he'll be done. And it's 1 strand over 2. But isn't he cute? I didn't do a very good job ironing. Oops. But anyway, I want to hurry up and get that done. So I'm going to stitch 4 days on that. And I've already stitched just a little bit on it. It wasn't a full day, but I'm not going to count that. So I'm very excited about that and getting some stitching done on that, because every time I see this bag, I think, oh, I need to do that. Yes. So hopefully I can get my 4 days done on that, because that's what my Whip Go is. Now the next one, I had just a little problem because I don't have a magazine chart that started. So I kind of fudged a little bit. I can do one of two things. I can either start a new magazine chart, which I thought, no, you're trying to get rid of some of the whips or works in progress. So you really need to work on something you've got. So what I decided to do was also include book. And I've got this across stitch Christmas book. And you see this pattern here. It says, have a cozy Christmas or Xmas. Okay, that's the one I wanted to stitch. And I thought, you know, that's what I'll do. It's all on DMC. And this is the Heart of the Holidays book by Craftways. And so I've got a lot of red to stitch. And I didn't iron this one because I wasn't sure I was going to show it. But that's all I've got done on it so far. So this is where I'm going to pick up and do my 4 days. And hopefully, and this is on it's on 28 count. And it's on an even weave. I think it's on Cashel maybe. But anyway, this, see, I need to do quite a bit. There's a lot of red. There's a lot of white. So hopefully I can get some more of that mug done. And that'll help get something done on that. Because that is just so, so cute. So that's what I'm going to do my 4 days on. That Christmas pattern. Rather than start something new. Because there was a Teresa Kogut pattern in the primitive punch needle and primitive stitching that I really wanted to start. And I thought, no, Dottie, you really, really need to wait. You need to do a little something on things that you have done. So, yeah. So we'll get started on that. All right. But, I need to lay that over there. My next work in progress, and I was hoping it would be a finish, but once again, well, no, this time I didn't run out of thread. I lost the color of floss I was working with. So I'm like, you know, Caroline and Rebecca are so helpful. I'd already been over to the shop and bought some floss. And of course, I didn't know that I had lost that floss until I got over to the venue. And I looked, picked out the wrong color, and ordered it from them. So I still don't have the right color. So I've got to go to the store and buy another skein of DMC unless I can find it in my craft room or somewhere in my house that I dropped it. But I kind of think it might be here. But if it's not, I'll have to do that. But this is Grow. And you're just going to go, I can't believe that that's all she lacks. It was so disgusting. I worked and worked on this while I was at the retreat. It's on 36 count, and it's just on a piece of, well, I don't know what it's on a piece of. But anyway, it's 36 count linen. And all I lack are those red-looking wine-colored flowers right there. That's it. Oh, well, it's 1 strand over 2, and I need some red flowers up here. Yeah, that looks like something Morticia would grow from the Addams family the way it is now. So I better remember to do those. But yeah. But anyway, when I get this one done, this will also be a fully finished object. Yes. Well, it'll be a FO, a finished object. So then I will make it into a pillow and it'll be cute. So hopefully that will be happening this week. I hope. That's my plan. Because it's so, so pretty. But, yeah. I just couldn't believe I did that. So I'm going to lay that over there to look for it. Then the last thing, I've got a new start. I know. But, you know, when I go to a retreat, I don't necessarily have to have a new start. But everybody was stitching something Easter. And I've got in my bag and I said, oh, I'm going to stitch Claire O'Hare. She wasn't there. That was a rhyme. But anyway, instead, I just had to force myself to start something. And so what I did was I picked up Heartfelt Easter out of my bag because, you know, I always take lots of things and only stitched on 2 or 3. And this is from October House Fiber Arts. Isn't that cute? Now, I'm doing this on 32 count algae, and I got this a long time ago, I think from the Silver Needle. And I think it was at Galleria. And it says WDY for the designer. So I'm thinking maybe that stands for Weeks Dye. But if anybody knows what WDY stands for, please let me know. Because it's not limp. I mean, it's sort of limp. It's not stiff, but it's just kind of medium. But I got the basket done, 1 egg and 3 violets. And I was going to do more, but yet again, I bought the floss, but didn't have it with me. Can you believe it? Okay, so this is 32 count, and I'm using 2 strands over 2, so it'll really show up pretty. So, yeah, me and Floss, we were having a time this time. But anyway, so that's all my works in progress that I have this week. Dolores could not be here. I meant to say that earlier in the video. I woke up this morning and I said, oh, good. I said, I'll get my housework done. And I said, you know, because today's my day off. And then I'll hurry up and get that done. And I'll call Dolores and she can just hop on over here. I forgot that she was in Columbia at her daughter's, or Chapin at her daughter's. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully we'll get Dolores back next week. But I do have a picture of her in the Smalls Exchange. And we'll see that in just a few minutes. She had the most fun, and it was just fun watching her have fun. I think this was her second big retreat. She had been to the ones that we had locally, but this was her second big one, and she was just, I think she met everybody there. I was lazy. I just kind of sat there, and I got up a couple of times, but that was about it. But she did manage to take a picture of my empty chair. But I got a picture of her empty chair too. It's a little joke with us. All right. Okay. So now we're going to show the goodie bag and start talking about retreat. Okay. And then we'll have my wrap up of March. And I'll show my book of days and my purchases that I got and just all the good things. And we'll also have the featured Shopify shop today, which is the Stitchin Kitten. I figured what better way, because they have got the most beautiful fabrics. They have got lots of floss, but yeah, I'll just talk about that in just, well, yeah, I'll talk about that in a few minutes. All right, so the goodie bag that we got says Stitching at the Lake, Stitching on the Lake, excuse me, and it's got the little kitten, and he's lounging in a little chair, 2025. Isn't that cute? And it had, yeah, it did. There it is. Okay. It had this little bag in there, and there was a duck with cat whiskers. A cat pen. Writes really well too. Oops. A Stitching on the Lake needle minder, which I'll be using. A dog sticker, because she knew I like dogs. And I think that's an octopus sticker. So I'll have to do that since we're at the lake. Not that it has any octopus in it, but or octopi. And the needle threader, those are great. And then we got ducks for every time that we had to rip out or frog. And they gave ducks because we were at the lake. So I got the dinosaur duck. The unicorn duck. Just a regular duck. I think this is a glow-in-the-dark duck. Another unicorn duck. I thought it was a chicken duck, but oh well. And a flamingo duck. Isn't he cute? So anyway, that's all the ripping I did. It wasn't too bad, except one time it was real bad. It was a lot. I should have got about 3 or 4 ducks for that one time because, oh, it was horrible. So anyway, that was a lot of fun, and I really, really enjoyed it. And then she gave us, I don't know what that is. Then she gave us some free patterns. And so and we got a bingo card to play bingo. But one of the patterns we got was from Pixel Pixie Cross Stitch, a seasonal cat, and I got spring. Then we got Lovely Hearts from Textile Crafts, and I think this one is just gorgeous. Then we got Your Future is Looking Spooky, Spooky Future, and it's called Stay Platinum Stitchery. Isn't that cute? Then we got, oh, there it is. Bad Stitch gave us Froggo Loves You. So that one's cute. And then we got the Stitching at the Lake pattern. It's called Catfishing. And it's designed by Caroline. And it's called Stitching on the Lake Retreat 2025. And I'm going to stitch that because I think that is just too cute. So that was fun. Then we got some table gifts. And I got this little box with some floss and some an anchor in it. It's just really neat. It's got a little fish on the top of it. And I guess I got an anchor because we were at the lake. There's the anchor I got. Yeah, so cute. And it was a good thing we got floss because I forgot to get floss and to play bingo with. So I had floss to play bingo. Yay. Then I got this from a real sweet lady, Luann and Judy. And I got Oreos. These are good. I've never had those. A Linder egg. Yay. Love those. A pencil and pencil sharpener, which I use to play bingo. A highlighter. More floss. A needle threader. 3-way. And a tape measure. Everybody needs a tape measure. And a bookmark. Isn't that something? And I know just what I'm going to put on this too. And this great little box to store floss in. Like if I have a big project, like my first Thanksgiving, I can put my floss in here. Yeah. So that's exciting. So I'm excited about that. And I'm really excited about eating my stuff. And this is a great pencil sharpener. It puts a great tip on, and it's going by my piano when I teach my piano students because, oh, do I need a good pencil sharpener there. So I'm very excited about all my goodies. Okay, so then, let's see, what else did we get? We got candy, of course, M&Ms, Easter M&Ms, and just all kinds of stuff, just all kinds of candy, which has been eaten. So, I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. All right, so then we played floss bingo, so that was good. And each table had a winner. So that was great because we had a lot of winners instead of just 1 or 2. And then she had regular bingo and she gave prizes. And I didn't win anything, which was fine. But it was nice to see everybody have a good time. Then, let's see. Oh, some of the things I bought. Oh, wait. No. Things I got off the freebie table. Now, I didn't get anything off the freebie table, but people brought me things from the freebie table. Penny came up. She's a friend of mine from Panda's Crossing, and she brought me this Scotty pattern. Isn't that cute? For the little Scotty bag. So I'm going to have to see about doing that. And I was very thankful to get this. Thank you so much, Penny, for looking out for me when you see a Scotty dog. And then this is not a Scotty dog. This says, I can go from woman to witch in 2.5 seconds. Dolores said she thought I needed it. And isn't it cute, though? So I'm going to have to stitch that. I might hang this on my front door so my piano students will watch it at Halloween. Really, I need to hang it the week before school's out and the week before Christmas. I wouldn't do that, though. All right. But anyway, it's just kind of funny. But I really appreciate it, Dolores and Penny. Y'all are so sweet. Then I'd ordered the Happiness is Homemade cookbook, and I finally got it. And it's got lots of patterns in it. It's really neat. So I'm excited about that. And I'm not going to leaf through it because I'm sure that some of y'all have already seen what's in there. So, yeah. But anyway, then we had the Smalls Exchange. And I made the Be Thankful for my Smalls Exchange by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I watched Vonna Pfeiffer and Helen D's tutorials on how to do the drum because it'd been a while since I'd done a drum. And this was my second drum, so I didn't remember. I remembered some things, but not everything. And anyway, I didn't have the circles cut out right, so Helen D helped me with that. And I thought, well, if she can do that, I can do that. So, yeah, and it finally turned out pretty good. And Missy loved it. So I'm going to insert a picture of the Smalls Exchange. I'm going to insert a picture of Missy and I. And then I got, and it was really different how they did the Smalls Exchange. I was a messy opener. They put them in brown paper bags and labeled kind of what was in them, which made it very hard to choose because I was like, well, do I want the tomato? Do I want the bunny? Do I want the flowers? Do I want, and I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I agonized over what to choose. So, haha. But anyway, I finally decided to get bunny butterfly flowers. And look at the adorable small I got. Isn't that just cute? And I do not know the name of the pattern. I meant to ask Summer. She stitched this for me. Thank you so much, Summer. And it's on 18 count Aida. And it's just beautiful. I love it. And it's got this little jute hanger. And it's going downstairs and going to be hung in my living room. Just so cute. I love it. And I'm going to insert our picture too. And then also Dolores got, Heather got Josie's, Heather got Dolores's small. And I'll show a picture of Dolores's small, but I did not track her and Heather down at the same time to get their picture together. And then Dolores got Josie's small, which was Stitching Bird. And I will insert their picture here also. Oh my goodness. Okay, enjoy the Smalls Exchange. Wasn't that great? I mean, everything was so pretty. I don't know. And I was just sitting here thinking, okay, I'll wait for it to get over. And I thought, no, I'm going to put it in. Okay, then in the fall, something for you to watch out for, Stitchin Kitten is going to host a fall retreat. And you really want to go because Rebecca and Caroline do put on great retreats. This was their first one, and you'd never have known it if they hadn't told you. And of course, we kind of knew. But subscribe to their newsletter, and that way join their Facebook, or follow them on Facebook, Stitchin Kitten, and I will link that below so you can find out all the latest news about their retreat in the fall. All right, so now, oh, I forgot to show my book of days. I forgot to show it last time too. And I got some really neat stickers. So what I'm going to do first is I have stuck some of the stickers I've received on the pages. This is January. I got Frogget. And then that beautiful blue bow, which reminded me of snow. Then I got Cross Stitches Love, some floss. And then, of course, I went to the Live and Die LA retreat. And I had to put a sticker there. That was February. Then, oh, my nose itches. All right, then in March, I got this beautiful sticker from my friend Christine, and I got my Camping and Stitching sticker here for spring. So I stuck those on there. And then April, I haven't done very much, but I got 2 beautiful stickers, and so I stuck them on here. So you see, I've already had one day I couldn't stitch. That was the day I was traveling and packing, and no, I wasn't traveling. I was working and packing and stitching my small to try to get it done and finishing it. Yes. All right. So let's do our March wrap up. Okay. So I had 4 new starts in March. I had 5 finishes and 2 were section finishes, but technically I had a finish out of those, a complete finish. So basically I had 6 finishes because I finished the Friendship Ties Us Together. The Friend Stitch Retreat Sale, I finished that. So I'm really excited to get mine back. So yay. And then I had 2 fully finished objects. I had 2 days. I did not stitch. I went to 1 stitch in. March was the sick month. Yeah. I went to 2 retreats. Or did I? Yes, I did. I went to the Live and Die LA retreat. I counted half of it here. I probably shouldn't count it in February. Yeah, I really don't need to count it again. So I went to 1 retreat, we'll say. And that was the Camping and Stitching retreat. Then I worked on 13 of my whips. I had no restarts. I'm not a big restarter. The stitch-alongs I worked on were the FFO Challenge 2025, Friend Stitch Retreat Sale, which for me, it's over because I've done my 6 parts, Whip Go 2025, and I was going to do Market Mania, but I didn't get to. Then the St. Patrick's Day sale, I worked on that, and I forgot to announce it last time. I met my goals in Whip Go, which was the Halloween. I worked on each project. Well, I say 4 days, but I worked on Halloween projects for 4 days because they were tied. I worked on Bad Kitty for 2 days and Victorian House number 9 for 2 days for my Halloween prompt on number 9. And on number 24, I worked on Cafe Mocha for 24 days. Listen to me, for 4 days, and it was number 24. One day was a lot of ripping and some stitching back. The next day was a lot of ripping and stitching back. I think I had to rip out 3 times one section. My total whips are 122. But, you know, I'm okay with that because if I don't start them, I have no hope of finishing them. So anyway, we're working on things so far. I've already got 1 fully finished object this month and a finish and a new start. And I've worked on 1, 2, 3, 4 different projects already. And there's only 6 days. So, because I haven't worked on anything today because I've been busy cleaning. Okay, so now let's show our Shopify shop. And then I'll show my haul because a lot of people don't enjoy seeing that. So I don't want to bore you if you don't like to see that. Oh, first, the free pattern. Good grief, I almost forgot about that. Our free pattern this month is from Al Forrest Embroidery, and it's Counting Bunnies. Look at this. Is that not the cutest thing? They have the most beautiful patterns. And this one's free. You just go like you're going to check out, and it's 0, and you can download it. And I will link this below, Al Forrest. And it's a company from the United Kingdom. Oh, I'm hot. Okay, one of the patterns they have is from Jean Farish. And this is something from Stitchin Kitten that you can buy. They also have the Patriotic Bouquet. This came out at Market, Needlework Market. You can order this from Samplers and Primitives, this sampler from them, the bee sampler. They have, oh, I forgot the name of this, but it's Blossom by Blossom, The Spring Begins. This was also a market release. And this one is so cute. It's called Flock to the Sea. You can make a drum or a picture. Is that not too cute? Then they have a kit. And this is a spring stitch, I think, or a spring song. I thought that was so pretty, but it's a kit and it's very reasonably priced. Then we have Bath Time. Look at all these little kitty cats. So cute. Then we have Land That I Love, and this is by Cherry Blossoms. This was a market release for those of you that want to get ready for 4th of July, Memorial Day. We have Cherry Blossoms has the vintage hair. Isn't that cute? I love that color of fabric. So pretty. And those eggs. Then we have Life Happens, Stitching Helps from Little Stitch Girl. So cute. Life doesn't come with a manual. It comes with a mother. And I can't remember whose pattern this is. But isn't that cute? Mother's Day's coming up. Then we also had Maiden of Shades from Maidens of the Hollow. This is a... This is, well, I don't know who it's by. I want to say the Witchy Stitcher, but I'm wrong, I'm sure. Then we have Gifts of the Season from Blackbird. Sweet Bird Sings from Blackbird. And Primrose Cottage's St. Patrick's Quaker. I just did them all on one page. Those are cute. You can also get Anne Haynes' 1831 adaptation of the Harmon Museum. And they have 3 Learn to Cross Stitch kits. They have Charlie Cat, Bunny, and Axel, can't pronounce the last name, Axolotl, I guess. They have those. And see, there's no picture for the museum piece. They have stickers. Stitch Happens, Have Needle Will Travel. It says, shh, I'm counting. Stitching is life. They have some older patterns. Bent Creek, Count Your Blessings. I love that turkey. It's called Uber Turkey. Then we have A Stitch a Day Keeps the Crazy Away from Little Stitch Girl. So cute. We have Happy Camper. I like that one too. We have A Year of Gnomes. And that's from the Mindful Needle. Then from New York Dreamer, it says, I said to the Lord, you're my Lord. I have no good besides you. And this is called You Are My Lord. She has Weeks Dye Works, and it's $2.60 a skein. We have a Honeybee scissor fob set. I thought that was cute. They have a Pink Owl scissor set. I hadn't seen any of these before, so I thought you might enjoy seeing those. And they have butterflies and things. She has lots of different fabrics, and, you know, she'll lay the threads on there so you can kind of get an idea of what the shade is based on the DMC floss. She has Ada, linen, even weave, you know. Then we have the May, nope, we don't. We have the May, I think this Country Cottage Needleworks design. Then we have a bead kit, and it's got a flamingo. It's a whole kit. Then we have Oh, I can't remember the name of this one either, but I'm just going to show it. It's so cute. And then we have Get a Ghost Kit. It's a beaded scissor fob. And they also have Home Stitch Home from Primrose Cottage Stitches. And they have the Berry Basket. The Stitchers Trio. You can stitch it on the bag, or you can do any one of those patterns. So, so pretty. And a lot more patterns, a lot more fabric. So be sure and check out their website on Shopify. And I will link that below also. And if you're ever in Irmo, South Carolina, which is near Columbia, and I will put their address and things below, be sure and go by their shop and check it out. Rebecca and Caroline are just wonderful. All right. So now, what did I buy? They had vendors there. They had, you know, like I said, the D-stash table and all kinds of things. But when I was at the Stitchin Kitten, I bought the Spooky Jack kit from Praiseworthy Stitches. So you make all this, and it's got this cute little bucket to put it in. I'm a sucker for Halloween and small things. They have, yep, I dropped something. Like I said, they have Weeks Dye Works. They also have dinky dyes, silk. And I needed some for a project, and I bought some dinky dyes because there was no conversion, and I worked and worked and worked on how to convert it, and I was very frustrated, and I finally said, I'm just going to get it myself. Then I got this cute needle minder of a camper from Flamingo Toes. I saw that, and I thought, oh, I got to get that. Then, you know, I got, somebody gave me, well, they didn't give it to me. It was on the freebie table at the last retreat I went to. And it was the, well, I've got it right here. I'll just show you. It was the lamb mini bag. I got the pattern, the floss, but no bag. They had a bag. So I bought the bag from the Stitchin Kitten. So now this is all kitted up, ready to stitch. Yay. All right, so then I got Stitching Mends the Soul from the Proper Stitcher. I got Trick or Treat Matilda. I love the little mouse. She is so cute, from Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl. She is such a sweet lady. Loved meeting her. But the best part is I got this bag from Millennial Fabrics. Just so, so cute, this project bag. And I like it because it says, I woof you. And I was just a sucker for that. So, yeah. Okay, and while I was there, I got to meet some Flosstubers. Some of them I already knew, like Lori Widener from Mischievous Stitches. I knew Olivia. We're really good friends also. Southern Yankee Stitcher. You need to go watch both of them. Lori stitches mostly samplers and like JBW stuff, and she stitched a beautiful floral bouquet. You need to go see that. And Olivia is working on Blueskin right now. George Washington's Horse, I think it is. And I want to say it's by Plum Street, but I may be wrong. But anyway, she does a lot of samplers also, but she also does other things too. And she's even got one thing that she's designed that she's working on. Then I met Lori Millsap and Mallory Bossy. I had seen them one other time, but now they're making floss tubes, and they're called Stitching on Island Time. And Lori also is a quilter. So she does island stitching, no, island quilting, I think is the name of that. But you need to go watch them. They stitch a lot of beautiful things, and really, really good. Then, let's see. The vendors were Sarah Pullman from Millennial Fabrics, Summer Perky from Clinch River Needleworks. Heather Norris was there with Nonstop Stitching, but she was not a vendor that time. And Steno Stitches was another bag. He did the project folders. Kevin Burgoyne, I think is how you say his name. And Nancy Adlet is Molly Paige. And I don't know what she does because I never got around to meeting her. But you need to check all these people out. Then we had the Stitchin Kitten Designs, of course, which was Caroline, the designer. Another designer was Journey Becker from Weasels Designs. And then Denise Lazaroff from Nonstop Stitching. So be sure and check all these ladies out. I will link them below. And go watch the floss tubes of the other floss tubers and like and subscribe. And I hope you found something in here that you liked and that you'll come back and visit again. And I've got lots of photos at the end. And until next time, I'll see you later. And remember, if you don't start it, you can't finish it. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.